I always thought that the Balgorn was my luckiest ship that I own in the game, but the Machariel will prove me wrong very quickly. So I had around 3 or 4 Machariel PvP runs, and this one might be the best one that I've ever had. You will see what I'm talking about very soon. Now, I'm also thinking about buying some of the new implants, but I think they're a little bit too expensive. 4 billion for a basic implant. Now, not really sure if this is worth it. I mean, I could technically buy it and slowly level it up, but I did see some of the more advanced implants on the market. I definitely want to further improve the DPS on this ship. Now, last time I also did mention that I messed up with the skills, so the cannon skills are still not there where I wish them to be. Now let me quickly go to the advanced implants and to the standard implants. There is one barrage implant for 9.5 billion on the market, which is a little bit too expensive if you ask me. Haven't seen any advanced implants on the market yet, but I think they will slowly be added. But with the current pricing, yeah, they will be extremely expensive, and the barrage implant went for 2.1 billion on the market. So I'm not really sure if I will buy them very soon, or maybe very late. Who will see? Who knows? But definitely will be very fun to see what I'll do with the barrage implant in PvP with the Machariel. Now, of course, the implants might actually be nerfed by the time I buy them, but we will see what will happen. Now, the first target for today, well, we had a space pan in the mission, but they have logged out and the ship did warp in space. We were pretty quick to scan the space pan, and the space pan is tackled. Well then, let's quickly engage the space pan. They were already losing shield, now the space pan is in armor. By the looks of it, the space pan has the Ascension nanocore, but we will see the details of the build very soon. And the space pan has been destroyed. This is my second space pan kill with this exact ship. Okay, let's take a look at the ship. This is definitely the Ascension nanocore. And one fun fact, if you log out from the game and your ship warps, if your ship is destroyed, then the destroyed ship will be present on the grid, but once you log in, it will basically explode as you log in, which is a very fun thing that happens in the game. Well then, let's take a look at my own ship. Okay, now let me show you the kill. A very tasty 14 billion space pan. Now I have to say, this is a little weird build. This is definitely not how I would build a space pan. Triple Nosferatus seem to be a little bit unnecessary, because the space pan can easily orbit and speed tank in the encounter and storyline missions with the afterburn or micro warp drive. So basically I would use batteries and a afterburn or micro warp drive with a lot of points and webs, just in case the ship gets jumped. Okay, well, let's go to the next target. We have one Balgorn and we have one Raven. Now both of the ships were inside of the mission, so I will go to tackle the most expensive one that will be in the mission, which is the Balgorn. Since the Machariel can warp like a cruiser, it's perfect for tackling targets, and this Balgorn is webbed, so they will not warp away that quickly. Okay, Balgorn has been scrambled, webbed, and now let's quickly shoot it down. Looks like this Balgorn is not that tanky. Easily going through the armor of that ship. The Balgorn is in low hull and the Balgorn has been destroyed. Excellent. I lost one drone. The Balgorn did not like my drones, but it's okay. Not really sure why they went after my drone. In any case, that was a nice kill. Let me burn away from the mission and let me show you the kill. $6.9 billion, not bad, almost 7 billion. A pretty solid kill for a Balgorn. This was a DPS built Balgorn, and unfortunately we did not get the best possible loot. Could be a lot better if the Predator webs did drop, and of course the auto salvager. Let's go towards the next target, waiting for the fleet warp. I think we have one Raven. My apologies. We have a couple ships inside of the scout anomaly. There is a Maelstrom inside, so this is most likely going to be a trap. But I think we are well prepared for that, so we will slowly go towards the next room. So we have one Maelstrom, Tempest, and a Raven, and of course there is one more ship. I think they are cloaked, perhaps a scout, but we have 3 battleships guaranteed inside of the scout anomaly. There is 9 in local. I think 4 are friendlies. The rest are the ships that are inside of the scouts. There is one more Machariel that jumped in. Okay, we have 4 battleships. 5 battleships versus 4 battleships. I think that should be nice. Waiting for the warp command. Okay, time to warp. I missed the warp command. I was looking at the local list, but I should not be that late. Warp drive active. After all, this thing warps really quickly. Well then, the second room seems to be clear. Okay, perhaps they are in the third room. That means let's go to the third room. There's a chance that they did warp out, although we will not know that for certain unless we actually check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opponents, and it looks like the scout is empty. Okay, this is interesting. That means that they did warp out, which is okay. Now, as you can see, I did swap my build with 3 adaptives and one shield booster, and of course I have 1 damage control. When I expect to take a lot of damage, then I usually fit for tank. When I think that I have enough time to focus on DPS only, then I usually go with triple or quad gyro stabilizers, but in this case I did expect to take a lot of damage and I did fit the ship for tank. A mixed build because the rigs are for DPS, but this also works really well. Well then, looks like the 4 or 5 battleships did warp out. So That means I will most likely go and swap the builds, go with the DPS build. Okay, going to the planet for the optimal warp-in distance to the next target. We have one Machariel. Now the Machariel is aligned, so we will need a Stratios tackle to help with the ship. Okay, I have arrived at the location. Let me align towards the mission location. Once the Stratios tackles the Machariel, then we can warp in. The Stratios is such a good ship for this purpose. The no lock delay when you decloak is really good for PvP. Now of course the Stratios is slow, it has its other drawbacks, but if you plan to stealthily tackle targets, then the Stratios is the best ship for that purpose. One of the best ships for that purpose. Okay, now we are just waiting for the fleet warp. Should happen at any moment. The Stratios is already inside of the mission.
Warp drive active.
And we go. Okay. That means the Machariel has been tackled. Okay, there is the Machariel. Let me scramble and web the target. The Machariel has been scrambled and webbed. And they are taking shield damage. I will approach on 0. All 3 gyro stabilizers are now working. I almost forgot to use them. Happens sometimes. And the Machariel has been destroyed. Very nice. This is the 3rd faction battleship for today. Now let me go to the asteroid field, or asteroid cluster, or asteroid belt. I think it's basically okay. It's asteroid group, my bad. 4.1 billion, not bad. The Machariel did have 1 aura stab in the low slots and 2 warp core optimizers, but we had a lot of tackle, so we could easily hold the target. Okay, now the next target is a Apocalypse, and they are currently inside of the mission. Waiting for the fleet warp. Now, sometimes it happens that we misjudge the alignment of a ship, so when we warp in, the target basically warps out. It happens
Warp
rarely,
drive active.
but it still does happen. This is why a Stratios tackle is very important. Now, if you don't like to fly a Stratios, a bomber can also do the same thing, but the Stratios has the advantage in being tanky, and the Stratios can take a lot of damage. Well then, this Apocalypse unfortunately was aligned and they have warped out, so we did miss that target. Okay, now we are waiting for the fleet warp for the next target. I think we have a Raven. The Raven is very close to the station. I think it's only a 2 astronomical unit warp to the location. So we have to wait for the right moment. I think we even have a Stratios tackle at our disposal. Now the target is only 2 astronomical units away from us, so it technically means that we should arrive in couple seconds. Machariel, like the rest of the Angel ships, has a pretty fast warp. It basically warps like a cruiser, and that's one of my favorite aspects of this ship. Its speed. I used to fly fast ships a long time ago. I still fly fast ships, but not as fast as back then. Back then, I had a Cinnabal that was able to go around 4,000 meters per second, which now might not be that fast, but at the time, that Cinnabal was really quick. Okay,
Warp drive
let's
active.
warp to the target. There was the fleet warp, which means that the Stratios did tackle the Raven. Okay, there is the Raven. They almost have full shield left. All 4 gyro stabilizers have been activated, and now the Raven will take massive damage from our Machariels. We have a lot of DPS combined. The Raven is now into hull, and the Raven has been destroyed. Excellent. Let's pull back the drones and let's warp out to the asteroid belt, or asteroid group, or asteroid cluster. I think it's the same thing, but they have different names. So let's just say I warp to the asteroid belt or cluster.
Warp
Not a
drive
bad kill.
active.
The Raven did use rapid missile launchers. A tank built with a micro warp drive. Well, that's interesting. Usually, if you are using rapid missiles, I would personally go with a afterburner. That way, if I get scrambled, I still have the speed boost. Okay, we are going
Warp
to
drive
warp to the
active.
next target. Our Machariels and other faction battleships are in warp. We have a pretty decent fleet. A pretty decent Machariel fleet. And there is our target. We have another Machariel. Okay, let's approach. I landed at 17 kilometers, a little bit outside of the scrambler range. I will quickly approach the target. They have been pointed. And now I will approach to scramble it and web the target. The Machariel is now into hull, and the Machariel has been destroyed. Nice. This is our, I think, 4th faction battleship for today. Today we did around, I think, 32 billion ESC damage so far, not really sure. There is still more targets to engage today. 4.1 billion. Well, basically the same. Wait a second, this is the same Machariel from before. Literally the
Warp drive
exact
active.
same kill mail value. That's very interesting. Oh well, it's still a pretty solid kill. Okay, let's
Warp drive
go
active.
to the next target. We have another Raven. The Raven is tackled. And now I am in warp. There is the Raven. Unfortunately, I accidentally locked on the drone, but I did manage to lock the Raven first, and now I will unlock the drone when the locking is completed. Okay, the drone has been unlocked. Now I can focus all the DPS on the Raven. And the Raven has been destroyed. Nice. Okay, now I will show you the kill. Not bad. Another Raven with rapid missiles, a PvP Raven. Okay, that's a very interesting build. Well then, that will be it for today's Machariel run. Honestly, one of the most fun ships that I did fly so far. Now, not really sure if I should buy the implants right now, the barrage implants to be more accurate, because I know that there is going to be more patches that will nerf the implant, because I think most of you already know that the barrage implant is pretty busted at the moment. I mean, let's be real, it's one of the most overpowered implants that we have in the game. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. The other implants are also pretty busted, so all of that needs a lot of balancing. Which leaves me at this very weird spot where I kind of want to buy them because I want to improve the Machariel, but at the same time, if I do buy them and if they get nerfed very soon, then I would guess that I would waste ISK, although I would still get them and I would not complain if they get nerfed, because it's for the health of the game and they really have to be nerfed to balance things out. Now I believe that it will be balanced on a weekly basis, maybe on a 2-week period. I have no idea honestly, but that's just my guess. So will be very interesting to see how the implant is going to be changed. Now the thing that definitely has to be nerfed is the rate of fire on the barrage. That's basically the source of the ridiculous DPS. You can practically do around 350 to 400,000 damage with the autocans, and perhaps you can actually hit around 500,000 damage with the large artillery cannons if you hit for 50,000 every hit during the implant's duration. And that is something that I will definitely try out when I basically can, because currently the test server is out, so I can't really go and test stuff. Well then, with that being said, hope that you enjoyed this Machariel PvP run. Again, I really like this ship, I love to fly the Machariel, and so far I'm having a blast flying this ship. So with that being said, hope that you also enjoy flying the Machariel, hope that you enjoy the Machariel's DPS and overall the speed of this ship. So with that being said, hope that you enjoyed, stay safe, fly safe, and I'll see you next time.